Hello students, welcome to our online teaching class of Bologna Public Schools. Today we will discuss history of class 9th, chapter 1, the French Revolution. In the previous class we have already discussed the part 1 of it, what is the revolution, and what are the different causes of the French revolutions, how what was the social condition of France in 18th century, and what was the role of the French philosophers for the outbreak of the revolutions, and what is subsistence crisis, how did it occur in France frequently. All these things we have already discussed in the previous class. So now we are going to discuss the second part of the French Revolution, that is the outbreak of the revolution. How the French Revolution broke out. Louis XVI had to increase, so the financial, due to the various reasons, France was going on in an acute financial crisis. So in order to meet the deficit of the country, in order to meet the deficit, the king Louis XVI decided to increase the tax, which was borne by the only third estate people. And the first and second estate people, they were enjoying some feudal privileges. They were exempted from paying taxes to the state. Rather, they were collecting some taxes for their own uses from the third estate people. All these are things. So Louis XVI had to increase taxes for different reasons, it. And here also in France, old regime, the monarch did not have but although the monarch wanted, or the king, Louis XVI decided to increase the tax amount, but as per the old regime, the system in France, he did not have the direct power to increase the tax. It was decided by the State General. State General, it was a political body in France, and it was represented by 600 representatives from third estate people, 300 representatives from second estate, and 300 from first estate in France. This State General, what is State General? State General was a political body in France. It was represented by 1,200 members from different states. So from the first state 300, second state 300, and from third state 600. Okay. So, however, the king had the power to however their grievances. The monarch alone could decide when to call a meeting for the State General. In this way, on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called a meeting or called an assembly of the State General in order to finalize, to pass the proposals for increasing taxes or for new taxes. Okay? As per the old regime, there is no system. The king did not have the power to increase the tax directly. But this had to be passed by a political body, that is the State General in France. Okay? So, accordingly, in order to pass the proposal for new taxes, Louis XVI convened a meeting or convened an assembly of the State General for it. A Resplendent Hall, a large meeting hall was ready at Versailles in order to host the delegates. The first states 300 representatives, second state 300 representatives, and third state 600 representatives. But their voting power was only one each. But having 600, they had one voting, and having 300, they have also one. So 1 plus 1 always, 1 plus 1 will be greater than 1. So because the first and second state, they were jointly fighting against the third state, so always the quorum was going in favor of the first and second state. So this time also in the meeting hall, the third state was represented by its more prosperous and educated members, peasants, artisans, and women were not allowed to enter into this assembly. However, their grievances were carried on. Grievances and demands were listed in some 40,000 letters. Although the first 40,000 letters, peasants, artisans, they were not allowed to enter into this assembly. Only the well-to-do people, good people, eminent people, the third state was represented by its most prosperous and educated members. So, peasants, artisans, and women were denied entry into the assembly. However, their grievances and demands were listed. Their grievances and demands were listed in 40,000 letters, and all these were carried by their representatives. So, in this way, voting, the meeting took place at Versailles. Voting in the States General in the past had been conducted according to the principle that each state has one vote. That I have already told you, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 will be greater than 1. Because when the first state and second state will be accumulated, there will be more than voting rights. So here voting this time Louis XVI was determined to, accordingly Louis XVI also was determined to implement the same principle as previous. But you know that the French philosophers had played a very important role. They had already identified the problems of the people, and they have already warned the people, inspired the people through their inspirational writings, and the people became now alert, and they protested that each state should have one vote each, so that the quorum will come in favor of the third state people. So when the king rejected this proposal, all the members of the third state, they walked out of the assembly and they gathered in a indoor tennis court at Versailles. Okay, they accumulate, was determined to continue. When the king rejected this proposal, members of the third state walked out of the assembly in protest. The representatives of the third state viewed themselves as spokespersons. The representatives of the third state, they considered themselves as the most important persons in France, and they decided to draft a constitution for France. On 20 June, they assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the grounds of Versailles. They declared themselves a national assembly, and they started to write up the constitution of France. They were led by, but these people, the third state people were led by the leaders of first and second state. For example, Mirabeau, they were led by the third state people who were accumulated in the tennis court in Versailles. They were led by Mirabeau and Apicius. Mirabeau was born in a noble family, but was convinced of the need to the third state people. But he was convinced of the need to do away with the society of feudal privilege. Although Mirabeau was the leader of the third state people, he belonged to a noble family, but he also was not in favor of the feudal privileges that were enjoyed by the first and second state. Okay, he brought out a journal and Mirabeau brought out a journal and delivered a very powerful speech to the crowds assembled at Versailles. On the other hand, Apicius also, originally a priest, wrote an influential pamphlet. He also wrote a very influential pamphlet, and it was known as what is the third state. Okay? So while the National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting a constitution, the rest of the France had to seize with trouble, they had to run with great or acute problems, acute tensions. So during this period also, at the same time the king ordered, so during this period the king also ordered his troops to move into Paris on 14 July 1789. The agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the Bastille. All these things we have learned previously. In the countryside, rumors spread from village to village that the lords of Meadow have had. So in this way, the third state people under the leadership of Apicius and Mirabeau strengthened themselves and started fighting against the first state people. A large number of faced with the power of his revolting subjects, Louis XVI finally, so when the revolution became more furious, finding no way out, Louis XVI was forced to admit, he at last agreed on the night of 4 August 1789. Finally, Louis XVI agreed recognition to the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers were fuller. Since then, Louis XVI agreed with the suggestion of the National Assembly and accepted the principle that since then his powers must be guided, must be controlled by a constitution. So on the night of 4 August 1789, the Assembly passed a decree law abolishing the feudal system of obligation and tax. So this feudal system in France was abolished on 4 August 1789. So all the feudal privileges, what is the different taxes like tithes, tallies, all these things were abolished. The lands were confiscated. Huge areas of land areas of tithes were abolished and lands owned by the church were also confiscated. As a result, the government acquired assets worth at least 2 billion livres after century. So France becomes a constitutional monarchy. In this way, France becomes a constitutional monarchy. France become a constitutional monarchy. Constitutional monarchy मतलब monarchical form of government, but the king is guided by a constitution. This is known as constitutional monarchy. So the National Assembly completed the draft of the constitution in 1791. Its main object was to limit the power of the king. Previously, the monarch had been enjoying huge powers, great powers, but it was limited thereafter. Powers instead of being concentrated, and these powers instead of being concentrated in the hands of a single person, it was also divided into different institutions like the legislature, legislative, judiciary, and executive. Okay, so these are known as the three organs of power or three organs of government. This made France a constitutional monarchy. Again, so let us now we will discuss about the so here the National Assembly in France was ready. National Assembly in France was ready. So what was the voting system? Who were the voters? Who were giving? Who were the voters? All these things we will come to know here. You know, in France, the total number of population were 28 millions. Out of 28 millions, women, children, and youth below 25, all these were passive citizens, no voting rights. About 3 million men also. All the women, you know it, all the women did not have the right to vote. Only men above 25 years and those who have the ability to pay the taxes equivalent to the wage of 3 days of a labor, those men belong to prosperous category, rich category, and they were paying taxes to the government equivalent to the wage of 3 days of a labor. They were getting the right to vote, and they were called the active citizens. So, active citizens, the number of active citizens entitled to vote about 4 million of a population. Out of 28 million, the total number of population in France was 28 million. But the active citizens of only 4 millions were the active citizens, and they had the right to vote. And all these were male. Only these were the male, not the women. Okay, and those who were poor women, poor men, the number of about 3 million men, they were also passive citizens. So out of the 4 million, 50,000 men were electors. Out of these 4 million, 50,000 men were electors. They were so out of this 4 million, 50,000 were being elected as voters or electors, and again out of this 50,000, 745 were elected as the member of the National Assembly in France. Are you clear? Who are the active citizens? Who are the passive citizens? All the women and the men below 25 years of age and poor. They are poor. They did not have the right to vote. Only the men who are above 25 years age and who belong to the rich category. That means those male candidates above 25 were paying taxes to the government equivalent to the wage of 3 days of a labor, were getting the right to vote. They were called the active citizens. The number of active citizens in France was 4 million, and out of these 4 million, 50,000 men were being elected with electors. And again, out of these 50,000 electors, 745 were being elected as the members of the National Assembly in France. This was the voting system in France. So to qualify as an elector and that as a member of the National Assembly, a person had to belong to the highest bracket of taxpayers. So the Constitution began with a declaration. The Constitution began with a declaration of the rights of men and citizens also. In that Constitution, written by National Assembly for the people in France, everything has been written. Rights such as the right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law were established. All these were natural and inalienable rights. Okay, so all these are inalienable rights such as the right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law. These were established as natural and inalienable, essential rights. That is, they belong to each human being. By birth, they could enjoy all these 4 rights in France. It was the duty of the state to protect each citizen's natural rights. And in the next class, we will discuss about France abolishes monarchy and becomes a republic. But in the next class, we will discuss how monarchy was abolished and republic was set up in France. We will discuss in the next class. Thank you.